In other labor news, the demise of the gig economy is now being seriously considered. The ubiquity of services on apps like Uber, Grubhub, and Instacart make it almost unfathomable that they could one day disappear. But the capitalist press is warning that it's now a possibility. I mean, just look at the collapse in share prices of companies like Uber, Lyft, and Deliveroo just over the last year and a half. Truth is, these companies have never been profitable. The only way they've been able to function for years is through tech investors sinking unlimited amounts of money into them and through exploiting their workers. That's allowed these companies to offer services at a price lower than it actually costs to provide them. You take out Silicon Valley money and remove the ability of these companies to treat their workers like independent contractors to skirt labor law, then suddenly they disappear. They're no longer sustainable. And that's starting to happen. Financial Times noted this week, quote, "That model is in jeopardy. The big problem is that the money is drying up. A decade of cheap money has given way to high inflation, gloomy growth forecasts, and higher interest rates. Investors are beginning to get nervous about piling money into loss-making companies. Shares in listed companies such as Uber, Lyft, and Deliveroo have dropped sharply." In response, gig companies are trying to change their business practices to finally achieve profitability. Times reports, quote, "Many of the ultra-fast delivery apps are also cutting jobs in an attempt to show investors they are serious about profitability. Channeling Jerry Maguire, we need to show them the money," Uber's chief executive, Dara Khosrowshahi, explained to staff in a recent memo. But that's probably not going to work. Cutting jobs means the service will get shittier, and ask anyone who's ordered delivery food recently, and they'll tell you the service is already getting pretty shitty. Folks will just stop using it. Companies have already squeezed whatever surplus value they can out of their workforce, so there's no extra profit there. And there are only so many fees delivery companies can place on restaurants to shore up costs before those restaurants just say, fuck it, not worth it, and they leave too. So in all likelihood, these companies will never be profitable, and many will just go under, which honestly, fine, good riddance. It was always going to be difficult to organize a union in the gig economy. Workers are by design isolated from each other. That means you can't just camp outside a bus stop for a year and talk to every worker coming and going out of the building. Tactic used to success by the Amazon Labor Union in Staten Island. Also, in most cases, labor law doesn't even apply here. These companies have exploited it by classifying their workforce not as employees, which would give them organizing rights under the law, but instead as independent contractors who aren't protected under the National Labor Relations Act. So the demise of the industry altogether may not be such a bad thing for labor. When Ralph Chaplin wrote in 1915 that workers can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, he was talking about Uber. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.